listeners, and welcome to episode 100 of the Nigeria Football Weekly podcast. I'm your host, Oluoke. Yes, you heard me correctly. Episode 100. So I've done this 100 times, probably more considering some of the episodes that maybe had to be skipped or had to be edited. But thank you for rocking with me. It's been a pleasure. And what a milestone to be able to bring the 100th episode where we're actually reviewing a Nigeria game. So as you all know, 2 days ago, the Super Eagles of Nigeria beat Libya 1-0. In Uyo, courtesy of a goal by Fisara Dele Bashiru. So I'm just going to be doing a quick review of that game and just previewing the return leg, which will be taking place in 2 days' time in Libya, in Benghazi, which is the capital of... Is it the capital? I'm not sure if it's the capital. Anyway, it's not in Benghazi anyway. It's in Banina. So it'll be taking place in the Banina Martyr Stadium in Libya. So without any further ado, as I said, we beat Libya 1-0. Really, really good performance, especially defensively. Starting lineup, I mean, a few surprises in terms of what we'd seen from the first set of fixtures from Eguavon. He switched back to a back four, which was good to see. So what that meant was Shemi Ajayi dropped to the bench for Frank Oyeka, who ended up coming in and start this game. So we had Stanley Nwabali in goal. Back four of Chuste Konga and Bassi as our centre-back pairings, Bruno Yemachi as the left-back, and Ola Aina as the right-back. Wilfred Ndidi and Frank Onyeka played as the double pivot in midfield, and Alex Iwobi played as the cam. On the wings, we saw Ademola Lookman start and Moses Simon start, as I predicted, and Victor Boniface started up top. I mean, when you look at the match facts, like pretty much as one-sided as you'd have come to expect, you know. Lesser teams coming to play like so-called big boys of a continent is as old a tale as time is. They're always going to sit back. They're always going to play defensively. They're always going to try and soak up pressure as much as possible to try and hit on the counter. So that's what we saw from Libya. Libya had a total of 2 shots in this entire match. None on target. Nigeria, we had 15 shots on goal, 7 on target. So that means the goalkeeper made 6 saves. Possession-wise, 64%, 36%. No surprises there. 470 passes to 278, no surprise there. Our passing accuracy was 86%, which is pretty decent, you know, when you consider the amount of forward facing balls that we took, which are a lot more risky as opposed to passing ball in between your defense. So that's something we saw. No yellow cards for Nigeria, 2 for Libya. So it's pretty much free-flowing game. 11 fouls for Nigeria versus 6 versus Libya, and 1 offside each. And Nigeria had 6 corners to Libya's 0. One thing that must be said in this game is I've never seen defensive tactics, like time-wasting tactics like I saw from Libya in my life. The goalkeeper must have fallen to the ground at least six times in this game. Like literally, it's as if the coach told him every 10 minutes, just go down and lie down on the floor. Like, it was ridiculous. But to be fair, while it was 0-0 for the vast majority of the match, you could argue that their tactic worked. But thankfully, Fisara Dele Bashiru scored in the 87th minute. And boy, oh boy, did we need that winner coming off the bench. Match overview. In the first half, there are a few chances here and there. Iwobi had a good chance in the 10th minute, but shot straight at the goalkeeper. A striker may have finished that. 16th minute, we saw Boniface dribble past a few players, but wasn't able to shoot after it was intercepted by a defender. 28th minute, Ekong found himself close to the 6-yard box, and the ball landed at his feet, but he shot over the crossbar. To be fair, AFCON would have scored that goal, but, you know, we excuse him. He's still a centre-back at the end of the day. 31st minute, we saw Lookman have a great chance with his first touch going over the defender, but the ball was just too far ahead for him to capitalise. He made another good run in 32nd minute, but nobody was there to capitalise from his cutback. 33rd minute, we saw a cross coming, and the Libyan defender, Mustafa, hit the ball out for a corner, but it was very, very close to being an own goal. So you could see them panicking in the way they were playing. We also saw Iwobi have a shot saved by the goalkeeper from Bruno Yemachi's cutback. And then Boniface and Ekong had headers blocked just before half time. In the second half, Iwobi had a header but missed the target. He had another attempt in the 59th minute. And then we saw the first substitution in the 61st minute. Chukwueze came on for Onyeka, which was good to see. So a bit more of an attacking swap, which was good to see. And then Simon was really, really good in this game, I must say. Like, he had a shot in the bottom right corner saved by the goalkeeper. So in the first minute, Chukwueze had a great chance after Iwobi passed to him, but his shot was saved. That was the tail of the tape, to be honest. I think our finishing was not necessarily the best in this game. And so we saw that in the 76 minutes, we saw the same thing. 74th minute, we saw Ndidi, Iwobi, and Boniface come off for Onyeka out Fisaya Delibasho and Taiwo Awoni. So I must give credit to Egov because he made timely substitutions. You could say he could have done it earlier, but ultimately, 15 minutes to go, it definitely paid off. 84th minute, we saw Ademola Lookman score a goal that was wrongfully disallowed. One of the pet peeves we still have about African football is if it's not AFCON, there's no VAR. And the way the linesman raised his flag so early, like, I even thought there was a foul. But Lookman was clean through on goal, like he was well on. And it was such a great move between him and Chukwueze. Lookman was about to score his 7th goal for Nigeria this calendar year alone. And it's just a shame that got robbed from him. But anyway, the good news is in the 86 minutes, Moses Simon with great work on the left wing. Really jinky the defender. Next thing you know, just put the ball in the box. And Fisaya Delibashu, I like how composed Fisaya is. Fisaya is the man that takes his chances, man. Shout out to Fisaya, man. First touch with his right foot, just banged it into the bottom left corner. Just caressed it, kissed it into the bottom left-hand corner. Fantastic goal, and boy, was it needed, because let me tell you something. If this match ended 0-0, the narrative and the way we'll be analyzing this game will be far, far different from how we're talking. So shout out to Nigeria. And then Nwabali went down in 88th minute to time waste, which was nice to see, giving the Libyan team a taste of their own medicine. I must say, I found it hilarious that the Libyans were complaining about time added on being only 4 minutes after wasting time the whole match. To be fair, it should have been more than 4 minutes, but you can't then cry when you've delivered. You've been the ones perpetrating the crime. And then all of a sudden, Nigeria scored in the 86 minutes, 87 minutes, which you did not expect. And then all of a sudden, you're expecting all this time in the world to be given. It was so funny to see. So anyway, good performances. For me, Moses Simon had a very, very good game. Shout out to him, Daddy Simon, as they call him, just very effective in terms of breaking through the lines and being a constant threat. I think overall, the team has a problem with finishing chances. And that final ball, a lot of times Onyemachi would make really great runs, but the final ball, the cross may be too high or too long or too short, or the finishes were just really poor throughout the game. And look, the best teams in Africa or in any confederation, the way you make your confidence show and your superiority show is by finishing chances. We cannot complain that, they sat back and there was a low block. We expected that anyway, but we have to finish our chances. So that's something that I saw throughout this game. But of course, you must shout out Fisaya Delibashu, because when you score the winner, which is already second Super Eagles goal in just 5 appearances, you see, that number 10 shirt, it weighs some people down, but some people, they rise. Fisaya said, give me that number 10 shirt, man. I'm going to show you how to represent this shirt with pride. I'm so happy for him, because Lazio has been a bit stop-start. Every time he plays, he shows what he can do. But for some reason, he's not in Carboni's good books when it comes to start the Serie A games at the moment. So him just being able to show what he can do is fantastic. Also, Ademola Lookman, my God. Ademola Lookman is our star player this year. Even though he had a goal disallowed, and at certain moments, you could say the final ball was not the right one, he was a constant threat, a constant menace. Like, he was everywhere he needed to be, So, shout out to Ademola Lookman. I don't think there were any really not so good performances. You could argue that, Boniface is still unfortunate for him, but I don't really want to criticize any player too much. I thought the defense was solid. 3 straight clean sheets on the bounce. Nwabali's got another clean sheet as well. So shout out to the defense. We didn't look like we were under any pressure or threat at all throughout these games. So shout out to the defense. I love the mentality of finding a way to win. That's what the best teams do. And I must say that it's something that I just had a feeling in my mind that Nigeria will find a way to score the winning goal. And, that's what some of the best teams do. So shout out to Fisaya Delibashu and the team for not panicking. At a moment, you could tell they were panicking where they were forcing the cross too early or the pass too early. But eventually, everybody calmed down and decided, you know what, we're Super Eagles, we're at home. When Uyo, we always win our games. Let's just take it easy and find a way to win. So we'll see that eventually. But of course, in the return leg, we would like to see a bit more clinical finishing from our players. I think it's very necessary. Look, when you look at the tail of the group, Nigeria, if we win our game against Libya, we're pretty much qualified for AFCON. So let's see that in there. Of course, we have to complain about the VAR and qualifiers. That offside call could have cost us points with Lookman, especially because it was the 85th minute just before Fisaya scored. So African refs, I beg you, go and do better. We know a lot of you are good. We saw it at AFCON. There were no qualms. But sometimes when we have these no VAR decisions, some of these decisions are pathetic. As for Libya, man, it's unfortunate. They're still bottom of the group, 1 point from their 3 games. But to be honest, no surprise there. I'll say they're by far the weakest team out of the 4 in the group. And it's good that we were eventually able to let our pressure and our superiority tell. Players look out for in the return leg. like I said, there's a player called Equara. He was the captain in the first game and a centre forward. At home, they're going to feel a bit more emboldened to attack because, they want to impress their fans, and they're also playing at home, not one of the neutral grounds. So we have to watch out for that. Their goalkeeper, Al-Wuhesi, remember, he made quite a few saves against Nigeria because we had 7 shots on target, but only scored 1. So he'll probably be motivated, especially in front of his home crowd. But you'd expect Nigeria to do the business, especially knowing that if we can just get through these fixtures and win on Tuesday, then the November fixtures, we could be a bit more experimental with our lineups and maybe give a few first caps to the likes of Gift Urban or certain players who have not necessarily shone or been given an opportunity for the Super Eagles so far. So what do we expect the starting lineup to be? Look, with Eguavoen switching back to a back 4 for the home game, you never know. He may switch back to a back 3 or a back 5, depending on how you look at it. But let's just hope he goes with that back 4 again, because I think that's how we should be playing against the lesser opponents. So in goal, Nwabali will continue. Although you must say that Okoye probably deserves a chance, but Nwabali has done nothing to lose his spot, so Nwabali should start. Ekong Rambasi will continue. I think the whole back 4 will continue. That would not surprise me at all. There's a world where I'd like to see Osai play as well. I know Yemachi on the bench, but you can't really argue about what Yemachi has done in the Super Eagles shirt since he's been given his opportunity. I would expect Ndidi and Iwobi to continue in midfield. So me personally, I would drop Onyeka and play Iwobi and start Fisao Delibashiru. Delibashiru has earned this start. Every time he scored for Nigeria, the next game they benched him. I don't like that. You have to reward great performances. Scoring international goals is few and far between. There's so many Super Eagles legends. They didn't even score up to 10 Super Eagles goals. This guy already has 2 in 5 caps. Please start Fisao Delibashiru. And then I expect the front 3 to remain the same. Moses Simon on the right wing, Adema Lokman on the left wing, and Boniface to the middle. There is a world where we may see Taiwo when he starts instead of Boniface, just because Boniface's fit looks a bit suspect so far. But I still think you have to persevere with Boniface because, let's not lie, that guy is a superstar and he's on the verge of world class. So the more opportunities we give him to get that first goal that will ignite his passion. I also liked him joking on his social media that, village people, what did I do to you? So anyway, Boniface, hopefully you can get this done. So what are my score predictions? I think it'll be a close game as well. It will go in a similar vein to how the first leg went. But I expect Nigeria to just pull through and win this game 1-0. And I'm hoping that we'll finally see Boniface score his first international goal for the national team. But I would say it will be either a Boniface goal, a Lukman goal, or a Delibashiru goal. It will be one of those 3. I don't want to hang my hat to any particular player. But yeah, that's it for this episode of the podcast, episode 100. As usual, we'll bring you a review of the episode after the game on Tuesday, and then previewing the club games coming up as club football returns next weekend. As always, thanks for working with me. 100 episodes is not easy. This is just a passion project. I have my day job, but I appreciate every single listener who's been working with us. Please continue to like, share, and subscribe on our YouTube channel. And if you listen to this on social media, please make sure you give us a rating or give us a like on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on AudioMac, wherever you listen. Please, we appreciate all listeners. Until next time, take care. And by God's grace, Super Eagles will give us the dub on Tuesday. Ciao, ciao. Thanks for watching this video. Please like, share, subscribe, and click the bell to get a notification whenever we drop a video. You can also find our social media channels listed below. And of course, up Super Eagles and Nigeria, they ever carry last.